Alright, so here's a matchup that I played last night. It's probably one of the last matchups I will play because I'm going to Toronto for a little bit of a work trip slash vacation for Easter. And it was a fun match. There was myself playing as the Dark Elves, Justice playing as the Wood Elves. We have Scythian King playing as the Vampire Coast. Then MR Defender playing the Greenskins. Time Lords rocking the Empire. Don't believe me? Just look at the Steam Tank. It's true. He loves the Steam Tank. That's an inside joke in case you've never played with Time Lord. And what else do I need to mention here? I feel like I'm missing someone. Looks like there's two Greenskin armies. The other Greenskin player was Wraith Storm, I believe his name is. So partly Wraith Storm, partly MR Defender. It looks like they've gone for a full surround. I guess they were hoping that we were going to be deploying over here. Sucks to them. We're not on that side. We actually tried the same tactic. We were going to try a full vanguard, hoping that they deployed over there. Sucks to us. We picked the wrong side. So pretty hilarious deployment. We both picked the wrong sides, and then we kind of had to scramble and react to this. That said, it does look like there is going to be an opportunity to envelop the Vampire Coast a little bit here, which is probably their preferred target. I did have two bolt throwers, so they will want to get into that as well, but for the most part we're deployed pretty center. And the artillery on the other side, really there's a Hammer of the Witches and a Hellstorm rocket battery, and then a steam tank. So here we go. I'm going to press play. We're going to see how this goes. In terms of my army list, I wanted to experiment with something different, and Scythian King was very opposed to this idea. He's like, no, this is not competitive and whatever, but I was like, you know what, I just want to have fun. We're going to see how this goes. So I have a Sorceress with Doombolt and Marathi with Wand of Cadrian. So they're kind of like the same thing. Wand of Cadrian might do a little bit more damage. I'm not sure. I'm assuming yes, because it seems like a special one. And I've got Doomfire Warlocks who also get two copies of a lesser Doombolt. And my plan was to see if I could use them to basically snipe out artillery early on with a cataclysmic opening of the skies and the punishment with the Doombolt. I was also willing to use it on heroes if I got into them, but it looks like there's Gelt and a Jade Wizard and not too many like large targets that I think would the Doombolt would be most effective on. So all of these units were stealth, and they were not appearing to us because they're all Night Goblins. So we had no idea that this Vanguard was coming. We were like, okay, well, we'll just go after the Empire. No idea where the Greenskins are, but I'm sure they're around having fun. We did see the Squigs, but that's pretty much it. There's a couple of I guess Night Goblins here who are going to do some scheming Night Goblin things, and I believe, is it this unit here? They're going to try and slip the gap? We'll see. Yeah, look at this micro here. So this is something you have to watch out for, right? If you have the zombie pirate deckhand mob, don't assume your opponent is going to just walk into them. He might go narrow and just try and go right through. And if you have the deckhand mob, you got to react to that and attack them on the flanks. Because otherwise, look at this. They're going to go right into the artillery. So very, very good micro there from, I believe that was MR Defender, just going right in here. So on the other side, we do have the cavalry, the Doomfire Warlock and the Marathi and the Sorceress coming in to try and take out this Hellstorm rocket battery. So let's just see how much damage this can do, because something I wanted to check out myself. So here we go. It's got it's basically full health, 1792, all artillery crews. Okay, so it looks like the Hellstorm rocket battery was pulled off of the batteries before the bullets dropped. So I think Time Lord was maybe paying attention there. I'm assuming that's his artillery crew. If I'm wrong about that, then I eat my words. So it looks like none of the actual artillery pieces were damaged. So if that's the case, very, very good micro from Time Lord. The crew took some damage, but nothing that's like they can't come back from. So I do have a few more like Doombolty sort of stuff coming in here on the Hammer of the Witches. Let's see how this does. I'm hoping I can at least disable an artillery piece. No. So it looks like the Doom Bolts actually they're not attacking the artillery pieces. They're attacking the crew again, unless Time Lord pulled his units off there. But that's a little bit disappointing because I don't really care about the crew. I wasn't trying to snipe out the crew. I was trying to take out the actual cannons themselves. But I do cause them to rout in this glory of purple madness that's coming down from the sky, and they did take a lot of damage. I mean, in fairness, this unit's down to 613 health, and they have had to come off of the artillery, so with them fleeing and whatever else, it is going to buy me some time. But yeah, I mean, I think that was some really good micro there from our opponents, who were able to pull the Hammer of the Witches off of the artillery away from those Doom Bolts. But that means that my bolt throwers can shoot along and do what they need to do while not being shot up by the Hammer of the Witches. So all in all, I don't think it was a disastrous use of those spells. I can live with it. So over here we have Balthazar Gelt. He's going to be dropping a final transmutation, I believe, on Count Noctilus. And down it goes. Oh, yeah, final transmutation. So just trying to chip away on him. Meanwhile, the Night Goblin archers are not, terrible at dealing with sort of chaff units here. So Scythian King is taking a lot of pressure right now. Looks like the Night Goblin Squig Hoppers have gotten into his artillery, and they're going to be crumbling. And I think the zombie gunnery mobs, they don't really have a line of sight here, because and they're also in melee. So basically, a lot of the front line is crumbling here for Noctilus, and Scythian King has been taking a lot of pressure. Meanwhile, Justice has been moving his forces up here, tries to get into Time Lord, and all those vanguarded infantry are going to start causing a lot of pressure into the Empire backline. So it looks like their vanguard has come up here, our vanguard has come up here, and we're both kind of like corkscrewing our way around the battlefield. And the question is, where is the hole going to happen? Is it going to happen here or here? So very dynamic battle, let's say. Over here, I do have my Sorcerai, who I only have Doombolt because I wanted them to be a little bit disposable, and Wrathy coming into these Empire Knights and breaking them off because I knew we needed to limit that mobility. Same thing here, the Doomfire Warlocks, they are going to just basically get this Empire Cavalry off of the field. We got the Demigryph Knights, but we needed an answer to those mobility. I am going to take very heavy punishment from the Night Goblin archers here, which are going to be shooting in at the unarmored Doomfire Warlocks. So they were definitely on a bit of a suicide mission, but I had no option here. It looks like the Night Goblins are going to shift their attention over here on the Glade Lord, who has pinned Balthazar Gelt with the Net of Ammontok. So Justice and I were on Discord here coordinating our attacks. So I wanted to hit Gelt with the Doombolt, and this time they connect and do a lot of damage. So the Wand of the Cadrian and the other Doombolts are able to break off Balthazar Gelt with the also supplementary melee damage of Morathi and the Sorceress. So here I send one Sorceress off to chase Gelt while I send Morathi in to finish off this very depleted what is it called? Steam Tank. And balance bar is starting to shift a little bit in our favor. I brought a couple of units of Shades to keep Skirmish Cav honest, and probably also shoot into the Demigryph Knights. It looks like I didn't notice that they had engaged in melee, so tough stuff there. Meanwhile, Time Lord, it looks like he's gotten in a very nice rear charge onto some carronades, and my bolt throwers are about to get disactivated here from MR Defender, who is also broken off the Spellsinger of Life. So tough situation for the Glade Lord if that life healer goes down. Meanwhile, Justice had a lot of attention over here focused on Time Lord. The Dryads have gotten into the Halberdiers, which is not the worst situation. I think the Dryads probably should have tried to slip the gap here. He had enough units that he could have broken around, perhaps. This unit of Dryads is stuck up on some greatswords, so not where it wants to be. And then there is Karl Franz, who is skirting around the outsides and chasing off a unit of Dryads that had broken off. A Witch Hunter is coming into the fray. Morngul Haunter is at pretty much full health, so is Karl Franz, and Balthazar Gelt has broken off, so I will be bringing my Sorceress of Dark Sorceress back, but I'm going to try and wheel her around the side because I don't want her to get shot up from the Night Goblin archers in the process, and I want her to be able to rally with Marathi and this other sorceress, and then see if we can start maybe taking out some of the healers. So there's a Jade Wizard here on horseback, so that's a prime target, and there is another Jade Wizard on foot. So it looks like whoever is playing Empire, maybe it's Wraithstorm, maybe it's not Time Lord. I could be wrong about this. I just assume it's Time Lord, but there's one Witch Hunter, one Jade Wizard, two Jade Wizards, and then Karl Franz. And there was so there was two Empire armies. That explains it. So I'm sure the one. Oh, I'm the worst caster. I'm sure the one with the steam tank was Time Lord, and it looks like Witchstorm is probably also playing the Empire because there's two Legendary Lords there and two healers plus the Witch Hunter. I digress. So here comes a really big fight that's going to happen. Marathi and the sorceress are going to be looking to tag this Jade Wizard, but they have to be also careful because Karl Franz is in the neighborhood and he's going to want to come to the rescue of his homeboy, Mr. Jade. Oh yeah. And there's problems for us over here in this back line. So we've got the Mongol Hunter fighting a Goblin Big Boss and a Night Goblin Wizard. He does have the support of some deckhand mob, and there are some dread spears nearby, but it looks like the Mongol is not fighting in the dread spears per se. It's just fighting in the deckhand mob, and the Night Goblin War Boss does have a bonus. Oh no, it doesn't have a bonus versus large. It has a bonus versus infantry. So my mistake. It's debuffing its melee attack with some, I don't know, poison, I believe it is. So pretty atrocious fight going on over there. The Shades are shooting into some crap here, so mistake there, but that's because my attention was focused over here. So I did get in the attack I wanted to on the Jade Wizard, but Karl Franz came over and helped out. I saw Karl Franz was very low, so I thought I basically said to Justice, come on man, let's tag team him and take him out. But unfortunately we didn't fight him at the same time, and look at how low he is, like 631 HP. This Glade Lord has more than double the HP, but she's the one who breaks off from Terror, from that flying mount. So very tough situation there. If we could have killed Karl Franz, that would have meant that the Empire lost both of their Legendary Lords. We would have been in great shape, and I was very not pleased with the performance of the Glade Lord and Marathi there. So a bit of a disappointing situation. That meant that both of our lords, our lords had broken off, the Glade Lord and Marathi. That was devastating. I mean, balance bar had been shifting in our favor, but now it's gone in the other direction. Our backline has been really in a tough situation here. I guess the Way Watchers are getting chased by the Spearmen and Swordsmen, so we're going to have to try and regroup here. And the Spellsinger of Life is basically just getting shot up by these Night Goblin archers, and you saw how low the Glade Lord had been. So Justice is trying to do a bit of dodging here, I think, maybe, with this Spellsinger of Life, but if she goes down, that's going to be really, really tough. So the Glade Lord does rally, as does Marathi. They say, forget it, friends, we're not going to attack you, we're going to go after these Hellstorm rocket batteries in this Great Canyon instead. They are successful. The lore of the Mage of Life is very low. Well, the two of them are, as is Franz. It looks like they are going to try and heal Franz, but there's a unit of Way Watchers here, and they're going to be shooting into Franz and trying to break him off. So some absolutely clutch positioning of Way Watchers down to their last two shots are able to break off Karl Franz, and smelling blood in the water, the Glade Lord is going to try and rout him off. So that frees up the air for Marathi and her very tattered sorceress buddy to do some work. So the summon has broken off. I did have to pull out back some Spearmen, I guess, to support these Way Watchers, which were running. Also, again, like I said, my micro attention was focused on the other side of the map. And with a full surround, Goblin Big Boss, Sigmar Sons, Warlord Boys, and a Goblin Big Boss, this Mongol is going to go down. And I want to check and see if the Gorb... Is this Big Boss on a horse? Oh, he's on a spider, yeah. So he's going to snare the Mongol, and the Mongol is not going to be able to kite with only a speed of 42. So that is going to be very tough for the Mongol, and yeah, the Bloody River Depth Guard were nowhere to be found, and Noctilus was, I guess, shooting at things instead of helping out. So it dropped. Balance bar is in the favor of our opponents now. Where's that Spellslinger of Life. It looks like it died, so I think there's no heals left for the Glade Lord. But Franz is gone. Marathi is back. She's still, punting this Hellstorm rocket battery. This one has no ammo, the Sunmaker, but this one still has a lot of ammo, so I wanted to try and shatter that. And the Dryads are going to be able to essentially finish the job, which means that I can bring my flyers back into the fight and start pinning things. But game is absolute pandemonium. The Night Goblin archers are almost out of ammo now. The Dread Spear should be able to win against these Empire Spearmen because the melee of the Dark Elves is just superior. Shades are going to find their way onto this Night Goblin Shaman. They are going to take a few shots here from the archers, but I'm okay with that fight. Witch Hunter shooting in here on this Glade Lord. Justice is going to pull the Witch Hunter out. Ooh, this is turning into a long replay, but it's so close that I can't even hit the fast forward button because it's coming right down to the end. Count Noctilus making his way up here. Gonna try and be the boss and deal with these the Goblin Big Boss and the Night Goblin War Boss. The tag team of those two are gonna do a lot of damage, and Noctilus, it looks like he still has another summon, so I think that is something that's going to get nerfed once the next patch goes down. And Noctilus does pull the balance bar very heavily in his favor, but if the Night Goblin War Boss goes down, then I think we're going to start having them face some leadership problems. But Glade Lord also gets tapped, and she's gone. So very, very dicey situation there. The only leadership we have left really is Marathi and this Sorceress. So here I had a tough decision. Do I go after the Jade Wizard or do I go after the Handgunners? There was not really a good option between the two, but my preference would have been to attack the Jade Wizard, but if I attack the Jade Wizard, then I got shot. And if I go after... Maybe I should have split. Maybe I should have had one go after the Jade Wizard and one after the Handgunners, but they were both so low. I don't think I could have taken the Jade Wizard in a 1v1. So that was, yeah, maybe I could have just... I probably should have just withdrawn and not even tried to fight that. That was a bit of a stupid play by myself. And Time Lord or Wraith, whatever Hunter, Wraith guy, made me pay for that. So Marathi is on a smidgen of health, 350 HP. Her healing cap bar has shown up. I am very low on Winds of Magic, but I have just enough for one last Soul Stealer. And there she goes, going from 315 HP up to 700 or something. So that is very, very helpful for us. Noctilus, it looks like he was able to slap that War Boss who was so low on HP and just erase him. And the Goblin Big Boss, I don't know where he's gone. It looks like his leadership wavered. Yeah, okay, so the Night Goblin War Boss, because it got so low on HP, its morale began to waver. Noctilus does cause terror, so the leadership, I think, became a problem for the Goblins more than anything. Had the Night Goblin War Boss been able to fight to the death with the Goblin Big Boss, I think they could have killed Noctilus, but that terror definitely coming in handy. So Great Swords have gotten into my Shades. Not where I wanted them to be, but they were pretty much out of ammo and out of unit models anyway, so whatever, my attention was on Marathi. Marathi is going to try and wipe out this Night Goblin Shaman. Meanwhile, there's a 1v1 fight here going on between Noctilus and the Goblin Big Boss, but Noctilus cannot really kite this effectively. So I think at this point you have no option but to turn and fight, because if you just kite, you're going to just get repeatedly snared and hit in the back from poison, and there's no option there. I think I would have pulled the Bloody Reaver Depth Guard over to deal with this Goblin Big Boss, because that's the large unit, right? And these Reavers have anti-large bonus. Instead of chasing the Witch Hunter, I mean, you could have sent Noctilus after the Witch Hunter and then the Depth Guard after the Goblin Big Boss. But, hindsight sometimes 2020. And yeah, so balance bar shifting in our favor, but I have no idea why the hell that is. Like, honestly, you look at all this infantry that's left, I think it's really tough for us, but I guess the Depth Guard are healthy, and Noctilus pulls the balance bar very, very far. So just having him close to the Depth Guard, we knew that he was going to be able to fight for a while. He did pull off a heal, and Marathi has gone on to basically chase off these routing units as much as possible. I wanted to kill the Jade Wizard, but yeah, I think now finally I can maybe hit the fast forward. Goblin Big Boss rallies, but Noctilus when he's mixed in with his Bloody Reaver Death Guard, he's going to be very, very hard to kill. Goblin Big Boss rallies, Witch Hunter rallies. They are going to go in there. They do catch him a little bit out of position, but he pulls through the Death Guard again. The Goblin goes around the side and catches him again. So Noctilus is so low. Final volley from these archers. And then another charge from the Goblin Big Boss is going to tap Noctilus and get him to kill, die, whatever, murdered. But balance bar shifted enough that army losses caused the end of the game. So crazy fight. Sorry for the mix-up between Time Lord and Wraithwalker at the beginning there. Yeah, Wraithwalker, he did a good job microwaving his cannons away from those Doom Bolts at the beginning. So I don't know. I still don't know if I sort of saw the Doom Bolts used optimally. It looks to me like they're not a great choice versus cannons because it seems like they target the units, like the crew, instead of the actual cannons themselves, which I thought was really disappointing. I mean, yeah, it caused them to pull away from the cannons, but there was no sort of permanent damage in the sense that the crew could rally and then come back. So I think if you're going to use the Doomfire Warlocks to disable or if you're going to use the Doomfire Warlocks and bring the lesser Doom Bolts or any of these sorcery with Doom Bolts, maybe your best option to use it on heroes. Or like large monsters instead of on artillery. I think there are better options for dealing with artillery, but in a pinch, if you just want to get the artillery crew to move off of it, I mean, you can do it. It sort of worked in that respect. I think there are better ways of dealing with artillery. Glidlord was awesome with that net. Unfortunately, she struggled to finish off Karl Franz even when he was on the deathbed there, but very good micro from Justice, and nice job, sort of getting into that Empire backline and routing off those Hellstorm rocket batteries. That was very, very clutch. Scythian King, I mean, Noctilus, he did work, as did these Bloody Reaver Depth Guard. There was really nothing that could kill them, and the Carronades sort of forced them to come to us. And I don't have too much more to say. I think MR Defender did well. You saw that really sneaky slip with the Night Goblins at the beginning through the Deckhand Mob. I think that was really cool. And other than that, just a fun match. Cool to see that he brought the Night Goblin War Boss just for a change. Not the most competitive pick, but certainly fun. And he was a problem to deal with because he was able to just push right into the artillery. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you around. Bye.